One percenters, welcome back to 1424 basketball training, where the goal is to take 14 minutes, 24 seconds, or 1% of your day to get better. For those that are new, welcome. I'm Coach Shami. I'm a former psychologist, now a performance enhancement specialist and basketball coach. On this channel, I simplify life and basketball into 3 buckets: mind, body, and craft. In today's teaching tape, Memphis Grizzlies versus Utah Jazz, Game 4 NBA playoffs. So let's see what we can do to improve our minds today. Since Donovan Mitchell's come back, Grizzlies are in trouble. Good little set play out of the opening, right? So it looks like they're drawing up a play for John Morant to come up and get the ball. And instead, they just run Jaren Jackson on a backdoor lob. All right, so beautiful misdirection to get that defense thinking a little bit. Donovan Mitchell, he's too slippery. He is way too fast. Ooh, Dylan Brooks, he's a bucket, man. He is a tough bucket here. Show the ball early, right? You get no committing. Woo. Way too easy. So kind of number one, you got to get your guy to use a screen here. I mean, easier said than done, right? You get a curl for bogey. He turns it into a screen. And then Dylan Brooks reads it, right? Bites on that in and out. And then when I talk about offensively, right, go to the open space. Look at all this space. If you attack this space, you're going to force John Morant to do something. You're going to face these guys to do something, right? Get to the open space. Nobody gets to the space. Just settle down and pull that little jumper. Find the open space. Don't look for open shots. Look for open spaces. Mike Conley had a crazy game last game. I love the Jazz, man. They are the Jazz and the Spurs, but we don't get to see the Spurs too much. It's the 2.5 drill that I talk about all the time, right? 2 dribbles or less, 0.5 seconds or less to make your decision, right? Here we go. Running a break. You got one guy already out in the corner. You got one guy here, right? Royce O'Neal gives it up to Conley. Pump fakes, drives into the gap, forces all 3, 4, 5 guys to look at him, right? Kick it to O'Neal or Spider Mitchell. Pump fake, get the guy up in the air, attack the gap again, right? Attack the closeouts. They both go to you, swing it here. I mean, this is what coaches want, or at least I do. From the Grizzlies' perspective, on John Morant, super aggressive, attacking the rim, hitting the floaters, getting into the lane, doing those things. And I want him, when he has those open catch and shoot threes, I want him to take it. I want him every now and then to do a pull-up 3. Donovan Mitchell, I mean, just the aggression. So Donovan Mitchell, I want the same thing out of him. I want him attacking the lanes, getting into the gaps, and then, creating for others. Right here, just looking at Ingles gets Kyle Anderson to go. Okay, Dylan Brooks. Okay, Dylan Brooks. Grayson Allen should be playing, I think, a little bit more minutes. Here's that horn set. Very rare do you get to see this like in the highlights, but there it is. 2 at the elbows or slightly elbow extended. And then you got one guy running up point. And then so they're going to run a screen here, right? So let's see what actions they can run out of this. If he falls asleep, he can backdoor. There's just tons of iterations out of this. So here we go, right? Turn the corner aggressively. Is Rudy Gobert going to roll? Is Donovan Mitchell going to flare? Or is Rudy Gobert going to now set a double screen rescreen, and then for Donovan Mitchell, right? A lot of things can happen literally in this moment. There it is. Simple, right? Attack the gap. Rudy Gobert rolls. Donovan Mitchell fills. This is like the most simple version of a horn set there. $24, $26, $25 now. So I like this aggression. Look, turning into a post. Rarely do you see him turn to post. But drawing all that attention. Sixth man of the year, Jordan Clarkson. Great fit for him in Utah. He gets to go in and do pretty much whatever he wants. Oh, Joe Ingles, so smooth. So here's another, here we go with the horns again, right? So you got to see another permutation here. Okay, so quick, slip of the pick and roll turns into a Iverson cut, right? For Joe Ingles, he pretends to set a screen or a ghost screen, runs across, right? Conley is supposed to turn this corner and get the guy on him a little bit more. Okay, they sit with him. He lobs it over. So now that Iverson screen is now a flare screen. He throws it over Gobert. So now you essentially get the pick and roll on this side, right? For Gobert and Joe Ingles earlier. Just flip. So it's another way of getting into that pick and roll action. So now you get Gobert rolling, Joe Ingles going to the gap, Ja Morant trying to fake hedge or help. Joe Ingles has the lane taken away by these two guys closing. He can pass or pass to Gobert. So instead, he fake passes, right, to get Jaren Jackson to shift over, and then he gets the layup himself. I mean, that's beautiful to watch. Rudy Gobert. So great job by Joe Ingles to force him to Euro step around, right? Slows him down just enough, right? Great footwork by Jaren Jackson to even get it off, but there goes Rudy Gobert recovering it and being that anchor. That's big time. Again here, so off-ball movement, how off-ball movement affects the game. You don't need the ball in your hand to affect the game, right? All five guys need to understand that they can affect the game without the ball in their hand. Here goes Rudy Gobert rolling hard, right? They all suck into him. Mike Conley gives him a look. Wide open shot for, who was that, Niang? Kyle Anderson. So slow. It is so slow, man. Slow-mo doing slow-mo things, right? Walking down to a spot, getting in here, pounding him a couple times, pivots, pump fakes. Nobody's jumping on his stuff, right? Jumps, and then Gobert jumps, and then changes his mind at the last second. It's just like so slow. Sometimes you're just waiting. It's like, come on, bro, come on, bro. And then I think people have a tendency when people play so slow or players play so slow, you're trying to just throw the shit out of that shot, and it happens. Defenders, anxious, jumpy defenders, they get so anxious, they get so antsy. Look at that beautiful movement again by the Jazz. If you guys are following me on the Austin Rivers stuff, you guys know he always does this rocker step or the shimmy, and it bugs me because he does it every time, and it's just funny the way he does it. So here we go. A variation of the horn set again. Coming out of the Grizzlies now. So instead of getting that first ghost screen, which we saw earlier, right? Joe Ingles set a ghost screen. The guard came over here, and then it became a flare or Iverson cut across. right? The Grizzlies are just getting into that action the exact same way, but no fake pick and roll here. Okay, Dylan Brooks is just running across straight. Okay, Jaren Jackson setting the screen here, so now it's an Iverson cut. And if you get it fast enough in rhythm, right? So Tyus Jones has to fake like he's going this way to deliver this pass on time. So he delivers that pass on time. Joe Ingles is trailing. Now you get this pick and roll coming on the wing, right? Joe Ingles knows the pick is coming, right? He just, and then Dylan Brooks shimmies or fakes jab that way, and then he gets this quick wide open lane here. This is where the roles and personalities come into play. So he's a bucket getter, right? He can easily lob this to Jaren Jackson, or he can jump and then skip this, or jump and skip it all the way to Tyus Jones. So he has all these options available to him, but he's a scorer, right? That's what he thinks in his mind is the best, option. Contesting Derek Favors, pumping. Tough bucket. Attack John Morant. Oh, there we go. A little catch and shoot. Close game here. Look at Jordan Clarkson, man. He's trying to find a bucket. Anywhere he's going, he's trying to find a bucket. 2 screens for him. No pass there to Bogey. Another screen by Derek Favors. Just turn the corner. Nobody stopping you. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep probing. Keep probing. Oh, nobody. And then when I talk about finding open space, right, you can always fade. You can always fade this way. Nobody is going to jump and double team you out of bounds. So the out of bounds, a lot of times defenses coach that go, that's an extra defender. Really at the elite level, that thing's not really an extra defender. It's actually a point that you can use to your advantage if you're a good offensive player. So I always talk about unguardable shots, unguardable moves, right? We got the step back this way, the step out, the side step out this way, the fadeaway out here, right? So if you're coming to the edge, I mean, you can always go out there. I don't know any defender that's going to jump with you all the way out there. Like very rarely are you going to get a defender jumping to follow you all the way out of bounds. That's why you see, game winners kind of like this, these miraculous looking shots. Kawhi Leonard falling out of bounds here, Dame Lillard's thing here, million Kobe fadeaways. The really, really elite players understand the court, right? The court, not the shot, the court. If you guys want to be elite, I mean, it's so simple, right? Wait for a screen. If your guy hits it, right, come off, one hop, 1-2, right into a shot, right? Like, how is this big guarding you? Is he zoning you off? Is he hedging, right? A lot of times, if you have a decent big, or if you have a big sprinting out to a screen, this big is going to be, jogging behind because he's trying to diagnose what's happening. So that big, a lot of time, is just going to zone off. So if you guys can off the dribble, right, 1 or 2 dribbles off the dribble and just come right into a jump shot, these are the skills that, really, really matter. And so when I talk about like selection, right, that the magic success matrix, selection, sequence, duration, and accuracy, right? The selection, what you select to practice, what you make your team practice, what you practice individually, what you work individually. Selection, right? So I get mad or I get annoyed that there's 2 ball handling, tennis ball stuff. There's so many things you can choose to work on, and some will be much more helpful than others. Some, I think all the drills help, just some just help a lot more than others. And that's what's going to separate you. People always talk about how hard you work and how You know, hard work pays off. Hard work is everything. Hard work is not everything, man. It's not. You got to work smart. You got to work diligently, right? I am actually getting away from hard work pays off. Diligent work, purposeful work. Woo! Hezzy, easy blow by, boom. Don't settle for the three, especially if you're John Morant, your threes are not that good. Go around, right? Engage him with the arm there, get your arm in front. Quick, one-handed pickup, left hand, right? Left foot, spin around, right? The key here really is holding Rudy Gobert's left arm there. All right. That's the key there. So not only does he hold the arm, it kind of prevents Gobert from jumping a little bit, and also prevents Gobert from swinging his arm through to swipe that thing on the way up. Those are the details. There's that's John Morant's shot, the one that I say, you know, that's his unguardable shot coming across, coming to the left, right? Boom, boom, right, left, get it out your hands before the guy can even jump. This is such a tough shot because he's so athletic, so fast. Mike Conley has a very, very similar shot. He's just not as quick anymore. Mike Conley used to do that all the time. Bogey. Here we go again. The actions that you guys should be working on, especially if you want to go higher into varsity level or college, potentially college or whatever higher level you want to get to. Even in pickup ball, catch and shoots will always work. But look at the footwork, right? Hide behind the screen. One hop, boom, out of your hands. The contest doesn't mean anything. 1, 2, gone. Step through. There you go. Well, I mean, I would have stepped through with the left. Not a bad move, Gobert. Very rarely do you see him just straight up posting. This is more Jokic. Boom, right? That's a big man kind of spin move. Hit him with the elbow there. Doesn't get JV to move too much, but it gets him up in the air. Not the prettiest move, but still get a bucket out of it. Look at the difference between Kyle Anderson getting into the lane, right, left, or right hop, and he doesn't get it off nearly as quick, or doesn't have the power to get it off like John Morant. So when he jumps, right, he has to hang to adjust and figure out, is my defender going to jump and block me? So he's really good at that, right? So he jumps kind of into him, holds the ball up. So he shoots on the way down quite a bit. Got to understand what type of person, what type of player, what type of athlete you are, for what skills you want to develop. So here's another, I guess, a good reason, another thing on selection. So if Kyle Anderson in his individual workouts, he's working on, you know, jab, 2 dribble rips, right, left, quick floater like John Morant. He's so slow. No matter how fast he tries to train, every NBA player is going to be pretty much quicker than him, and that shot won't be effective, even though he can work, you know, super diligently and make it, you know, in practice. But in real life, in the war, in the game, he'll never get that shot off. So he'll just be wasting tons of hours. So for him, I mean, he should be doing stuff like this, right? To use his length, right? So does he get around? No, Mike Conley's way faster than him. So he does a little, you know, fake spin here and then comes back anyway. So now he's using his length to get around Mike Conley, right? Not using his speed. So Conley tries to keep separation, but it doesn't matter. He's too short. So now he gets around. Now he looks at the rim, forces Gobert to come, right? Gets him to commit, and then knows that nobody's back there to help. This is called playing within your own pace, your own tempo. Like, this is why I like Kyle Anderson so much. Somebody who knows who he is, and he's just maximizing what he is. Bogey. Good pass fake and dime anyways. Here's a great example of learning how to utilize your screen from Dylan Brooks. So Dylan Brooks, the design is for a double stagger for him to get this ball coming down. JV has been cruising. He's not here in time, right? So his screen isn't set. So Dylan Brooks is running, right? And so he pumps the brakes right here to keep that defender in back of him to get the timing back in order. So now JV finally gets there. Okay, so now he runs. Okay, so now that screen is set. Right now that switch is happening. High pickup to split that, or football pickup to split that, an extension finish. So a lot of young players or new players, they're just going to do what the coach says and just run off of this thing super fast. And either they'll yell at JV to speed up, or they'll blame it on, somebody not hustling, or they're just going to full blast this thing. You got to set your screens up. You got to set up your defender. And if that means slowing up, putting him on your hip, right? Very, very critical and very intelligent move there by Dylan Brooks. Good little bump euro, right? LaMelo does this a lot, right? If you see that back shoulder of the defender, right? Bump him, pick that ball up, boom, pick it up, right? Bump him on the left foot, or bump him on the right foot, slow down on the left, lay it up. Oh, Kyle Anderson with the cookies. Cookies. Oh, look how slow that break is. Oh, hit him with the professor. Don't do him like that. Hit him with the professor. So when I tell you guys the best basketball players aren't in the NBA, the absolute best basketball and the players are in the street, man. They're in the street. These are the guys that don't have politics. They don't got coaches to worry about. They're just out there creating like these indestructible, offensive moves or defensive moves or dribble moves. Right. If you have no idea who the professor is, I played with him twice. He's a white dude. He's shorter than me. People think they can guard him. He's not strong. He's not, super athletic looking. He's kind of a scrawny white boy, but he can move and he knows how to manipulate the shit out of you. So this is his, his move. He dribbles. He goes to the baseline. He drops it behind his back. You think that the offensive guy is going behind the back to wheel it out, but then you go behind the back quickly and then you turn it up. So here it comes, boom, just enough to get around. I mean, the professor does this